Hello, I'm Ed. I'm a director at Faith in Kids.
I'm Amy. I'm the resource writer at Faith in Kids.
Welcome to the training video for week two of our Who Am I series. I am made to love others. Great to be with you. Have your downloadable resource handy. We're going to take you through a few of the essentials and a couple of the tricky bits. You're teaching it. We're here to help.
Let me tell you a story so you can see where we're going. Imagine June is an 8-year-old little girl. She thinks she has no friends and no one likes her. She's often on her own at playtime and she cries about it with her dad. June's dad would love to fix it. He can't understand why everyone doesn't love his daughter. He asks to speak to her teacher. He wants to shout at all the other children and their parents. He'd go in at playtime if he could.
Imagine June is in your session this week. We want her to find out that she was made to need friends and to be a good friend to others. It will help her understand why it's so hard.
Together with her dad, they can talk about being a good friend to others so that June's playtimes could begin to change. Lesson 2 is our second story in the creation account. Last week we saw that we have value because we are created. This week we see that Adam is given a friend.
Amy, do you mean a friend or did you mean to say wife just then?
No, I absolutely mean a friend. Before Eve was a wife, she was the solution to the problem. It's not good to be alone.
This series is about identity. Today we see that we are made to be with others. We don't all have to be married. We won't all be married. But we all need friends. It's part of who we are.
So that's why on the lesson you'll read, the truth that changes me is that God is love. He made us to love others like he does. It's not good for man to be alone.
Everyone wants their children to have really good friends. Of course we do. But as Christians, we're raising our children to be more focused on loving others than being loved. It's what they're made to do. Like a lawnmower is made to cut grass.
Or a hairbrush is made to
brush hair.
Well done.
Children are made to love others.
So that's why it says Faith in Kids looks like children who are willing to love others, not just seeking others to love them.
The downloadable resource is written for you. In there, we walk you through how to teach it. It's all you need. If you haven't read it yet, press pause on this video.
What are you doing here? Press pause, go read it. Welcome to the section that we like to call
Points, Problems and Distractions.
In this lesson, we keep repeating God made us like him to love others. Well done, us like him to love others. We repeat that because we want to emphasise that big idea.
We also give you the option to talk about the Trinity. Calm down, it's going to be fine. You could miss it out, we don't think you need to. Just remember, this is an identity lesson, not a Trinity lesson. We're teaching our children they are made for relationship with God and others. God, the Trinity, and us, made us like him to love others. You can do it.
With the over 8, we walk the journey from friendship into marriage, giving you the chance to start the conversation about sexuality. We'd all love to dodge having that conversation with our group. We want to think it's a conversation for their families, but parents tell us they really want their churches to help.
Hear us right. You've got this. This lesson is about friendship. It's not primarily about sexuality, but it could be the right time to start the conversation.
What our children need to hear is that everyone needs friends, whatever their sexuality. We also talk about puberty, the development of sexual attraction, and the Christian model for marriage between one man and one woman.
At this point, your heads are exploding as you discover you've been handed a session which covers puberty, attraction, sexuality and marriage. You probably have never said half of those words out loud in front of another living Christian.
It's okay. This lesson is focused on friendship, but it's good to show them what lies on the road ahead. Wouldn't it be great if they heard the truth from us before the culture confused them?
We have found that a good way to start these conversations is to ask them in teaching time what they've already heard and what they thought about it. This allows you to listen and decide how much time to give it later in the session.
Okay, we're going to move to heart and hands, making the most.
This is the moment for the children to do the talking. Shh, it's not about you. Get them to talk about friends. Who are their friends? What are their names? Why do they like them?
Help them to talk about the connection. Because God made them like him, they can be a good friend to others. A child can usually talk easily about how others are good friends to them. They find it a bit harder to talk about them being a good friend to others. This is probably all you're going to talk about with younger ones.
With older children, we have given you case studies to help you discuss barriers to friendship. Children who look different, they might sound different, they like different things, perhaps they have a disability or they're from a different culture. Adam and Eve were different. We are made to have friends who are different to us.
This could be the chance to ask them about how relationships change as they get older through puberty as attraction develops. My 9-year-old daughter came home from school one day and told me she thought she might be bisexual. She'd had a relationship talk at school which explained to her that girls who like girls are called lesbians, and girls who like boys are heterosexual, and girls who like boys and girls are bisexual. So she's concluded that she's bisexual because she's got friends who are boys and girls. This is the world our children live in. You can help them to navigate that, understand and value friendship. You can help them to look ahead to what is coming next.
Finally,
take home sheet.
connect with the parent. Older children need their Sunday school leaders and parents to be talking about friendship, relationships and sexuality with them. If their friends and teachers aren't yet talking to them about this, they soon will. Let's be ahead of the curve.
Remember, if you are calm and confident, this communicates that this is a topic that can be talked about openly in church. We want that to be the case. This isn't you just sharing your opinion or your preference. You are explaining what God says.
It would help if parents are told what their children are learning, particularly if you've covered sensitive issues in your session. So on the handout, it does say, clarify the difference between friendship and sexual attraction. You could point this out to the parent and just help them understand how far you've gone.
Let me just remind you as we finish that you are telling them good news. What you are offering the children in your class is God's better story. Be confident, He's got you.